whatever's available opportunistically, I guess. And what happened in this case was in our first set of events. And so one of the ways I help create change is by creating new words for things. So we are creating these engagement events, right? Well, that's a lousy word. So I said to them, we need a word for this, and we need a different word. And what they came up with was crew shops. It's like a workshop with the crew, so they call it a crew shop.
Cruise? Yeah.
Crew. You know what a crew is?
No.
Like a crew of a boat. Like
a crew?
All the people who work together.
Group,
work crew.
Crew shop, not
a work crew.
Workshop.
Not a workshop, it's a crew shop, right?
Oh, so it's focusing on people work together.
So Jacob Storch, who you really have to meet, is a brilliant man in Denmark who's working on this relational stuff. Anyway, he's got this idea, he calls it redescription. Like, it comes from Richard Rorty, that new words precede new ideas, right? Yeah, so what we do is we create a word that doesn't exist, but it has enough resonance that it's sort of meaningful, but it sort of isn't. Crew shop. So now it becomes both a verb and a noun. We go, so as they start now, do we need to crew shop that, and like we're going to run a crew shop, and a crew shop now starts to have a certain meaning and resonance in this system, and they own it. It's not somebody else's idea coming in, it's theirs, right? And so...
To ask you a provocative question, let's pretend you want to build up a school teaching professionals to do all that. You have any idea how this school or how this kind of training should look like?
I do. Yeah. I think people need to learn to pay attention to language and narrative and storylines and and learn. And I don't know exactly how to teach that except to throw people into it and have them. And then pull back out and take a look at what's going on and then throw back in and pull back out, sort of like a T group kind of process of learning to pay attention to, and it's kind of like literary criticism, right? It's like learning to see the theme that's underneath things that keeps showing up in different ways. Because I think...
And to dialogue on that.
Pardon?
And to dialogue on that.
I don't know.
How can they find out when they are on their own and you are not there to?
Oh, you have to be in the system to. But so how to teach that in a classroom setting? Like I've tried a couple of things, like reading cases, try to pull out what's the narrative.
Okay. So
or
classical forms.
Yeah.
To do so.
I think if you have people in interaction over a period of time, so one of the things I have been able to do is have people recognize how they're creating stories about each other.
Creating reality.
Yeah, and making up a story about you to fill in my experience, and I have models for that. And I can teach people that, how to watch a group and be able to extract the storylines that are animating that group's social construction of reality. It's a little trickier. I don't have a good one for that. But I'd want to teach them that. I'd want to teach them how to construct generative images. And I have more ideas about that. And I think the place where the generative images really show up is you really have to listen closely to what are the paradoxes, polarities, contradictions that this group of people is struggling with, even if they're not conscious of it. Because I think almost always when a group of managers are feeling stuck in some way, it's because they're stuck in some rock and a hard place. They want this, they want that, they seem like opposite things.
Within the given framework is not solvable. They have to change frameworks.
And that's what a generative image does, is it brings together what seems like opposite things and sticks them together in a way that all of a sudden they can see like sustainable development, right? Like it gives me a way out of, I can either be ecological or I can be, so